I wrote down a couple notes, and I just want to jump right into it. I'm going to be talking about the 5 ways monogamy destroys the black community. And these are the top 5 ways that I think monogamy destroys the black community. Let's jump right into it, ain't no more talking. Number 1, birth control. Monogamy has been put here as a tool for birth control on the black community. How so, you say? Well, as you can see now, the black community, we reproduce at the highest rate out of any race. Even when we're in monogamous relationships, we still reproduce at a high rate because nature gonna take its course regardless. And just imagine if we were in our natural state and we were actually doing polygamy in our natural state, we would be reproducing at an even faster rate. And I don't need to point no elbows or nothing, but we know who came here and enslaved us at the end of the day. And when they did come here, they didn't like the fact that we produced at a high rate like that. That we were able to build huge dynasties and even able just to repopulate the earth at any point if we wanted to, because we were in our natural state, and they didn't like that. They were envious of that. And on top of that, they couldn't afford to take care of all those slaves and pay all those slaves after just keep reproducing all those babies. So that's where marriage came into play. When marriage came into play, pretty much the slave master, alright, so when the slave master came to Africa and took us over here to the United States, we were all on ships. On the ships, we were reproducing at an extremely high rate because we were in polygamous relationships. And in a polygamous relationship, you can reproduce at an extremely high rate. Just imagine how fast I can reproduce with one woman. Just imagine if I have 10. I can have 10 babies all at one time. So that's 10 babies I can have in the next 9 months if I wanted to. The slave master ain't like that. He pretty much, it's gonna be hard to goddamn feed all them heads. He can't trade them fast enough. He can't get them off fast enough. So that's too much. We don't have enough products to be trying to feed all them slaves on the ship, first of all. And second of all, I'm envious as hell anyways. I don't know why you can get all these women and why you can have sex with all these women and reproduce it with all these women so naturally, so far. I don't like that shit. So that's when the white man pretty much created marriage. And he said, you're not gonna be able to have sex until I say so. So you're not gonna be able to get you a wife until I say so. And you can only get one wife. You can't get no more. As you can see, polygamy is not legal in America, but it's legal in Africa. So we're still living on that slave master mentality that they created way far then to this day. We still doing the same shit. We gotta go get married. We gotta go talk to the slave master, and the slave master said you can only have one wife. We still going through that shit today. So that's a form of birth control when they are trying to control our birth rate. Black people, we already have the highest form of birth rate, again, right now, because we naturally gonna reproduce at a high rate. Nature gonna take its course no matter if they put us under these monogamous ways. That's why you see a whole bunch of niggas with a whole bunch of baby mamas, because nature gonna take its course regardless. You can't fight nature. No matter what mentality you got, it's raps. Number 2 is competition. They obviously wanted to make us compete with each other. So, especially the women. In a form of a polygamous relationship. Women don't look at each other the same anymore. They don't. Everything is a competition. You think you own a person because of monogamy. Now you feel like just because y'all have a spiritual connection, you feel like you own that person now. So when that person go out and try to experience another spiritual connection, you feel like now that person that they are trying to experience another spiritual connection with, you got to compete with that person. Now everything is a competition. Men too, we in competition with each other too. We feel like, some men feel like it's only a couple good females out here, so you got to make sure you get that one and you hold on to that one type shit. When there's a whole bunch of women out here, bro, women just got to get on the right shit. You feel what I'm saying? But pretty much they just put us in competition with each other when there was no competition from begin with. We don't need to be competing with each other. We should be competing with ourselves. Women shouldn't be competing with each other over niggas. Niggas shouldn't be competing with each other over women. Period. That shit's not the move. There's enough to go around for all of us. And monogamy says that pretty much everyone has a soulmate, when that's not true. For every 10 women, there's only one man. So if everyone was in monogamous relationships and everyone had a soulmate, you would leave 9 women to be single with no fathers in their household. competition. You will be competing with women trying to get a man, when really there's enough to go around for all of us. We don't have to compete with each other, period. All right, that's number, what the fuck, hold up, it's ants and shit out here. I'm not going. All right, number 3, financial security. As you can see, we are the only community that don't have businesses that are thriving and that we pretty much pour into ourselves. We the only community that don't pour into themselves. White people pour into themselves. Asians pour into themselves. Arabs, they got all these different gas stations. They got all these different communities. They got all these different businesses on the side of the road. They pour into themselves. Even Mexicans build their shit, keep it in the family, and they pour into their children, and they pour into themselves. The black community seems like the only community that can't get financial security because we too busy competing with each other, and we too busy worrying about bullshit instead of building as a family together. Like, just imagine if I got 3 baby mamas, but I'm only with one of my baby mamas, and my other 2 baby mamas are single baby mamas struggling in a house by themselves, and I'm only with one, and I'm just worried about this one because we got this monogamy mindset we got this monogamous mindset that the slave master has gave to us. So instead of me bringing all my baby mamas together and trying to build a family, all of us, let's say we all work at McDonald's. I work at McDonald's, and all 3 of us, and 3 of them work at McDonald's. Let's say we brought all of our money together and built for our kids. If we all work at McDonald's, that's 4 people working at McDonald's. If we all go get a house, we will be able to go get a house. With 4 people working at McDonald's, we will be able to work, and we can work up from there. But we too busy saying, no, you work at McDonald's, you work at McDonald's, you work at McDonald's, I work at McDonald's. I'm just gonna keep my shit to myself, or keep my shit to one person, instead of everyone building up together and building up a fat ass family. So that way you can put the money in together. 4 incomes is better than 1, obviously. So they wanted to take our financial security away from us as well. They didn't want us to be able to build and become financially stable, because that will make us be able to overthrow them if we are financially stable. So that's why you see the black community still at the bottom, because we are thinking like a slave master. We are thinking in the ways that they taught us. That's why, okay? So again, number 3, they wanted to take our financial security away. They did not want us to be able to build. And yeah, they did. Monogamy just came, it made us not be able to build as easy in relationships. It's way easier to build in a polygamous relationship. If I have 3 incomes or 4 incomes, it's better than 1. You understand that? That's common sense, okay? All right, number 4. Monogamy also destroys just the perception that we have towards one another. Now we act like we don't even know how to love each other no more. Like, seriously, and it's really sad. Like, we legit act like we just our perception towards one another has like completely shifted. Hold up. Yeah, so our perception towards one another just has completely shifted. Like, women don't even look at each other the same. Men, we don't even look at each other as gods. Women, y'all don't look at each other as goddesses. We don't look at each other as a sisterly bond or a brotherly bond when we meeting with each other. We damn near can't even do business with each other because it's always competition. It's always some bullshit. Let's say one person was to come out with schools so we won't have to go back to white people's schools. Black people gonna look at that shit and be like, oh, I could do that too, and let me build a school. And the other nigga gonna build a school, instead of all of us pouring into the person who created the school system, pouring into the person who created the jail system. We just want to compete with each other instead of building. And that's because of the way that we look at each other now. We don't know how to love one another. They took that away from us. They showed you that if a man loves this woman and he loves this woman, then that takes away from you, when really it doesn't. And they made it seem like that women can't love each other no more. You see, women, y'all naturally have a strong bond with each other. It's just when a man gets involved, that's when, oh, now y'all in competition. Now y'all can't see eye to eye no more, when really y'all could have been best friends if that man wasn't there. So it's just a perception that they have brainwashed us with towards one another in the black community. We don't know how to love each other. That's why you see niggas out here in the streets killing each other non-stop like some hooligans. We doing their job for us, because they done took the way that we look at each other anymore. When niggas walk in a group in a party or something, and it's a group full of niggas, we instantly mean mugging, trying to figure out what the fuck that nigga looking at you for, why the fuck that nigga eyeing you and shit. When really, bro, it shouldn't even be none of that shit going on. Women, the same thing. A girl looking at your nigga and you instantly goddamn looking at her like, what the fuck wrong with her? Why she looking at my nigga? Probably because she see you got a good nigga. What's wrong with that? I just told you that most women are not going to find a man if we go by the monogamy standards. So what's wrong with her looking at your nigga if she might think you got a good nigga? Simple as that. You don't have to look at her as competition, or you don't got to look at her as a little bitch or some shit just because she is who she is, bruh. We supposed to be looking at each other as sisters and brothers. We supposed to be loving each other. At the end of the day, they took the love we had from one another. We don't even look at each other the same. Last but not least, number 5. Monogamy takes us out from our natural state / mindset. This one is really just the biggest one of them all, because polygamy is not just a form of a relationship. Polygamy is a mindset as well. Everything is polygamous. The universe is polygamous. Our solar system is polygamous. You got one sun, you got 9 planets. The planets are females. The sun is a masculine energy. So our universe is polygamous. Every fruit, every plant is polygamous. Mostly every animal is polygamous, because polygamy is natural. It's natural. That's how the universe vibrates. If the universe vibrated in a monogamy way, we will only have one earth, one sun, one fruit, one plant, one animal, one human. You got to understand, if everything was one God, if everything was one, then this shit wouldn't work out. That's why our ancestors believed in multiple gods, or they gave different parts of nature gratification. They talked about the sun god, they talked about the tree god, they talked about the universe god, they talked about everything, water god. All these different elements of nature came together to make itself. And if they only gave gratification to one thing, it would take away from another, because they understood that poly is the way, multiple is the way. You will not be able to create an abundance unless you are doing it in a polygamous way. And our ancestors understood that. So, number 5, they took us away from our natural mindset / state of mind. We already vibrate in a polygamous way. Again, you see, we have the highest reproduction rate for a reason. It's because we are able to naturally reproduce at a high rate naturally for a reason. We have the highest sex drive for a reason. This niggas got all these different baby mamas, a whole bunch of baby mamas for a reason. It's a whole bunch of single mothers in their homes for a reason. That's what monogamy does. It takes the black man, it takes the masculinity out the household. Now you a single mama, because your nigga done cheated on you. Now you a single mama for the rest of your goddamn life, until you find another nigga that's probably gonna cheat on you. And men, you wanna try to uphold this monogamy standard when you know your natural state already. You already know how you vibrate, so you might as well just keep it a buck. At the end of the day, bro, monogamy was put here to destroy us, and it's working. It's working very, very, very well. You see why we don't have shit, why we don't build shit, why we don't go anywhere, why families are destroyed. Can you name one person or one family that's been loyal to each other for over 50 plus years, that's actually built something? Can we name one thing, one person? No. We too busy looking up at LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and fucking retarded people. Oprah and shit, like, fucking, I don't even know, bro. Like, motherfuckers is really bugging right now. Y'all need to realize what our natural state is. And once we realize that polygamy is our natural state, we will be able to build. But until then, we're going to keep being down here as a community. Period. But I can tell you one thing. My family not going to have to worry about none of that shit. Will yours?